and welcome to my channel. My name's Emma, and today I'll be doing a June wrap-up. So, the books I read in June were about 4 books in total. The books I read were Ash by Melinda Lowe, The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Elier-Sainz, and We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. So I'll be going through them and giving my ratings and telling you guys why I liked them, felt indifferent about them, and just why I rated them the way I did. I'll be rating them out of 5 stars each. So I'll be starting with Ash by Melinda Lowe. I rated it a 3 out of 5, but to be honest, I actually pretty much liked the book. So I was thinking of maybe giving it a 3.5 out of 5 because I have conflicting emotions about this book. Alright, so I read some of the reviews on Goodreads and I felt like nobody gave this book the justice that it deserved. It came out like several years ago in around 2012. I'll have to double check that. But it had tons of subtle themes that I feel like no one critically thought about. Like, it discussed the themes of the value of love, different types of love, traditions versus like just logical thinking, and the roles that you have in society. It also had quite good world building. It was atmospheric most times. The sceneries, the descriptions of the sceneries were pretty wonderful. And overall, it was just a fun read. I understand if people didn't really like it because it wasn't character-driven. It was definitely more of a plot over character book because, well, it's based off of the Cinderella story, so obviously it's a plot-driven story because in the original story of Cinderella, it was just about a girl losing her mother and father, and then dealing with stepmother and stepsisters and yada yada yada, and ending up with the prince. But in this one, it's slightly different. Right. Oh, I'll get on to the plot later though. I still have to talk about the original. So the way that that it's plot driven is because those sort of stories, fairy tales, they're always about the morals, not really the characters. Like, I can't really tell you anything about Cinderella except that she's selfless, caring, kind, all the good stuff. So it's obvious that a story based on that should likely be plot driven. And I think I'll go in depth about Ash in another video to provide a full review, but overall I just really liked it, but I know that it wasn't as good as it could be, so that's why it's 3 out of 5. It didn't achieve what I wish it would. What I wish it would have. Anyhow, The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. Oh my god, 5 out of 5. I swear, I don't know how anyone could rate it less than 5 out of 5 unless it's not like in your typical genre that you read. So if you're mainly just into hardcore romance or just obscure fantasy that's far removed from reality and doesn't deal with real world issues, then I'd understand it. But anyone who's interested in the genre's contemporary and coming of age, those sort of books, this book is perfect. It deals with the issues of subtle and systemic racism in England, subtle and not so subtle homophobia, and it also addresses just a wide variety of topics that really need to be addressed. It follows the story of a mixed Greek Cypriot and Jamaican boy who doesn't follow stereotypical gender roles and just deals with growing up and all that comes along with it. And it goes through the natural process of growing up, you know, high school, little kid, teenager, grown up, and all the awkward little in-betweens. It was definitely the best, and I mean the best book I've ever read. Ash, that was fun. The Black Flamingo, whoo boy. I recommend this to anyone. Just anyone. You should give it a try, even if it's not in your typical genre. I still think it should definitely be higher than 2 out of 5. If you're rating it 2 out of 5, can't understand that. Next is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This book I also have conflicting emotions about because although I did like the characters in it, it felt somewhat disconnected to me. You know, it tried a lot, but ended up only achieving the average result. It, like every single chapter, every single line, it was thought-provoking, but not enough to elaborate on the thoughts. It just threw thoughts out there like it was spewing word vomit, and I didn't really catch up to what all the messages were, so I was just dragged along through the plot. But it was worth it to read it. It was definitely worth it, so I'd say a 3 out of 5, and I'd recommend it to anyone who's interested in coming-of-age stories. I don't think you'll enjoy this if it isn't your cup of tea, and I don't think you'll enjoy it if you're not really into the whole angsty, poetic sort of writing. And next we have We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. Oh my gosh. This one, I get it if you don't fully enjoy it at first, but I guarantee that if you stick around until the end, you'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate the themes it addresses, the plot, the mystery, the characters, the relationships. All of it was pretty good, all in all. I don't think that it's perfect, perfect being like the Black Flamingo level of just wonderful writing and all that, but character development. But this book definitely hit the spot for me. It talked about grief, how to deal with loneliness. Well, not exactly how to, don't follow what the character does in it, but it follows the struggles that comes with loneliness, losing a loved one. And although some of the bits weren't as realistic as they could be, it still touched on the subjects in an appropriate manner. It never came off as too much angst, too much of that. I mean, a bit. But to me, it was pretty good. The ending was a bit too hopeful, but I feel like the main character, Marin, deserved it. So, yeah, that's the June wrap-up. Strongly suggest that you all read The Black Flamingo. Yes, and Ash was atmospheric. It was epic. It was a fantasy book, just in case you didn't miss that. I'm going to go deep into the story of Ash another video though, so don't worry if you don't completely understand what the book's about. I'll be addressing that. And Aristotle and Dante, if contemporary YA is your thing, you're not judgmental of the genre, then give it a try. We Are Okay, amazing for people who can connect with grief and who want to learn about what it feels like to go through loss. And it's really comforting to read. So, yeah, that's the June wrap-up. Thank you. Bye.